Grand Rising, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in with I, Enchantress, the Babbler. That be me. I recorded something prior to this. Be nice. I recorded something prior to this. I tried something new, and I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I hope so. And so that is what I'm working on, and I did it from my phone. So it was like a new app that I was trying, and to like slice more than one video and thing in, kind of. And I used to use it a few years back, and I forgot about it, and so I'm doing it, and whatever. Anyways, so hopefully I get to share that video too, because it's important, it's important to say what you need to say, right? Because freedom of speech, and say what you need to say in truth, in honor, and be authentic as can be. That's the only thing, right? Say what you want, do what you do, but authentic to you without hurting anyone too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I just had like, my own opinions to say about, because I've been also covering in my own kind of way for evolutionary reign, this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing. So yeah, okay, granted, my latest videos are about this particular topic that if you're not hip with or want to know anything about, but you're about evolutionary things, then eat the fucking mana, and which this will bring, because no matter what I speak upon and do, everything is designed to be evolutionary too. And so that's just how we do. And so this topic for me truly interests me due to my own history, and just now the position I'm in, to where I am watching stuff and tapping into the earthly things that are taking place. And I got my own space, place, evolution, elevation, position, focus, intention, and purpose. And so whatever the case may be, we're all free to articulate our evolution in whatever degree of expressionary breed of seed that we align ourselves to be, and find in our own like our own, unity within our own being, and how that comes out in its own expression, and for everyone, expression is going to be different. You know what I'm saying? And so for those that are like artists and creators in every kind of way, however and whatever you're passionate about, like, it's how your expression is going to be expressed, and whatever. So you know what I mean? So anyways, that was just like, me going off on my babbling and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to leave this as an opening, because I'm waiting on a call. So I may have to pause, and I do have clients to tend to soon, but I have some time. I have a pocket of time, and I don't want to do anything else like domestic at this time. So I like to create, because that's what I do. And so while I'm trying to extract this video from this app that I use to create a video prior to this one that I'm creating, and doing little things in between my scheduling, I love it here. I've grown to love my own voice of expression, in delivering. And that's important, you know, to see. I'm not here tooting my own horn for you to toot it too. My freedom to express, you know, pushing ego, conditioning to the side, because a lot of the times people like to gaslight or ignore. She's been doing this in all my latest videos. So Shiva the singer. Okay, like, so look, I look down and it says, from whom can I release my judgment right now? You know, and I work on that too, especially because I have my own strong opinions too. When I come to conclusions about something that I must come to a conclusion about, or, you know, and a truth about within myself for peace. I mean, that's the only way that peace is ever going to reside inside of our lives, is when we get into our truth, our alchemize, our align. And that's going to require you to be as real as can be to yourself. You know what I mean? Whether you want to go publicize that, whether you want to go share that, whether you want to go, like, you know, like sing it out loud, you know, everybody's going to be different in every kind of way. But what was I saying? What was I saying? Anyway, but like, what was I saying? Okay, so much going on within my own hive. I lose track sometimes, and you know, that also was like something that had prevented me from sharing too, because I know how I can be. Like, it's like tradition for me. Like, I could be in the middle of a story and then telling everybody, and everybody's engrossed, and then right there, like, it's like a cliffhanger note. Like, I'm like, what was I saying? No, that's not a joke. So it's nervousness, and then it makes you kind of like forget. It's like forgetting the answers to the test. Meanwhile, you know all the material. It's just, you know, it's like an anxiety kind of thing. Like, you know, everything becomes like overwhelmed, and it's like you become mush. Like, it's like a brain fart in some kind of way. And then the other one where, like, you know, channeling has to do with channeling, where I'm channeling, and then like the human tap spin. That's the best way that I can give it a creative spin for you to have a visualization of what I'm trying to say, to convey something that's intangible in every kind of way. All I can do is find the articulation of expression that can, you know, hopefully help you see the vision or the understanding so deep that I am trying to convey. Like, you know what I mean? When you try to explain something to other people that they have never seen before or known before, and language is the opening door of the bridge that you get to build in terms of finding the communication that's going to be understood. You know what I mean? Because why do we speak? To express. And what's the purpose of express? To get it off our chest so that we can be what? Understood, right? But in order to get into the alchemize of a line, one of the biggest challenges that we have in our lives is expressing that which is true, especially when emotions and vulnerability are involved. And what the hell is going on? Mercury retrograde. Right? I'm trying to send something and it's not sending, but I don't know what the hell. Wi-Fi is fine. Anyways, So that's what like part of too, like what this channel is all about too. It's authentically getting into the authentic you, living there, vibing there, aligning there, true, full, filled in every kind of way. And you know, that's the kind of motivate I like to celebrate and activate in every kind of way. Eat the fucking mana while you're here. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter the topic I bring here. There's always going to be pockets of mana for you to swallow whole. You know, if you want that. I'm never gonna like. I'm not here to recruit. I like to spend a lot of alone time. I like to do my own kind of things without having to explain, nor feel bad that I rather tend to my own inner lands and do something that I get to create and it makes me feel great, instead of like engaging with others at many other times. Like you know, like you think about all the superficial conversations that take place, the small talk, like how are you, what's going on, anything new, like all these kind of questions that are just like forced conversation. Like what happened to communication? These deep conversations now are like received as attacks and triggers to go so deep because it's outside the box, you know what I mean? So anyways, but I was saying a lot of different things, but oh shit, I forgot. Yes, I'm solved. Let me turn off my Wi-Fi and see if maybe that works better. Sorry guys. But yeah, so hopefully that works. Let's see. Right. So anyways, I've come a long way with this channel too, for me to see the evolution that be the truth, because I know what I had to go through to get to this point of comfortability in my own vulnerability, as it can be perceived or labeled as, like, because I'm so open to communicate and be as I am, and you know, be judged as I am when I am, right? Because the world be like that, condemning before welcoming. Like it's always a judgment, you see. And that's pretty much too, like, you know, why I'm into this whole case that went publicly. And I don't care about its root of why it plays a part with our evolution at this time. So whether it's a real thing that actually took place, or this is just Hollywood, you know, taking the stage and leading the wave and all this kind of stuff. Think about the deeper root of the message that it's still trying to convey. Like, how many things can you see and still deny? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of reality are you really in? Like, how honest are you with yourself when you can just live in the state of denial? I just freaking tweeted something. You can follow me on Twitter. I really only have one follower. I just created it. I used to have Twitter many years ago. It was like, what year was it? I don't even know, like 2011 into 12 or 13. Like, I may have kept it around for some time, but never really, when I stopped using it because it was just like, for a sensitive and me during that year and that time, I was going through a lot of different kind of ascensions and levelings up and evolutions in my own life, and Twitter was too troll like. Like, that was my encounter, and so I stopped because it was just too weighty for where I was then. And so, you know, whatever. But I always did enjoy the aspect of just free speech, and just like, I think of like a sentence and then I post it because it is one of my motivational thoughts, inspirations, whatever the case, you know, may be. But, you know, whatever, you know, it is what it is and that kind of thing. So I haven't had Twitter in years, like years, more than 5, I would assume, or whatever the case may be, since the last time I've had it. So now I created it, and it even took me a while to start using it again, even though I created it. So I just really just started using it. So I only have 1 follower, and I don't really care. Like, I'm creating it, I'm following in the alignment with me, and it's gonna be free and whatever, you know, these kind of things. I'm just utilizing the tools of that we have, you know, and where I feel divinely led, guided, and inspired to move in the way that I do. So I just, you know, follow suit in that kind of way. Anyways, but I posted just a little while ago, Twitter, right? Utopian Cupcakes, that's my name. Yeah, Utopian Cupcakes on Twitter. A video that I found on YouTube of a news media outlet reporting a video that was shared on social media. I don't know from where, okay, of a train ride here in the States. I don't know what state it was. It looked like one of the New York City trains, okay? So, because I'm originally, like, you know, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, and all those, you know, other kind of Saturn dropped me off in Brooklyn, okay? And, you know, still have yet to retrieve me. From this planet, right? So I have rode the New York City trains for a good part of my many days before I moved away. You know what I'm saying? So it looked like a New York City train, but again, I don't know the other kind of trains in any other kind of cities. But either way, the train wasn't packed, but it had people on it. And in this freaking video, there's this dude that came in like with some outfit, like a short shirt and tight ass pants, and acting all destructive and mad, and people were just trying to move away from him, and so he went to sit down, and where he sat down, the girls that were sitting down moved, and one of the girls that he sat next to, when she went to move to get up, he grabbed her by the fucking hair and sat her back down. And these people on the train, instead of helping this lady that said, please help me, please help me, nobody did a fucking thing except record this fucking poor lady's trauma being witnessed. And everybody just watched. That's why I'm glad that the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial was public. Because that's the kind of fucked up shit that be going down, that people be hiding all around, and, you know, shit is foul. Anyways, and so that lady's media thing, you could just see the link on my Twitter if you're interested in seeing that video. I like the news anchor woman who was delivering the message, because she was motherfucking clear about what the fudge is happening here. Like, oh dear. Called everybody on that motherfucking train. Like, where were the men to overpower this dude that thought he can just get away with this too? And I understand that you have to think of your safety as well, and think about, like, how you can really help without making it worse and all this kind of stuff. But what's up? It's the same thing, like how the media is turning this into such a frenzy, and like the take of some of the people in that are defending or offended by the jury's decision to award the the to agree with Johnny Depp's lawsuit against Amber Heard and find that he proved more than enough all the claims that he had made that she had maliciously did this falsely and with no regard to anything, you know, thinking that she was going to get away with it. And then having witnessed publicly the trial live, you saw for yourself with your own damn eyes. But it and to see the reality of the deceit still trying to play is like, how dumb can you be if you cannot see past the falseness? And I feel like those that refuse to see and hold on to like what the hell, like, hold on, give me 1 second, and hold on to like, and hold on to one side of things. Like, there was an article or some shit or a quote that this woman journalist or something has said in regards to the decision that she didn't agree with in regards to this trial. She thinks Amber Heard should have won somehow. I don't know if she watched the whole thing herself and saw it for herself, like, because how ignorant can you be to not have seen the falseness of her credibility in terms of anything? And calling it misogynistic, this whole trial and stuff like that, and cause, and you know, just the outburst of some of the media cries, like judging this one particular case and making it represent all cases for this particular subject is like ludicrous. Like, this one case is not representative of all domestic violence cases. This one case is one unique case that was able to present itself in a court of law and show and prove a false accusation to be like not truth, right? So what the hell does that have to do with any of the representation of this one particular case? Like, Jack Houghton said it, like, I wrote down his quote, and just because I liked it, and I was just like, this applies, where he says, no one case should ever be representative of all cases. So the insistence of some people about a cause that they're so like hell-bent to be a part of, to be part of its movement, will literally close their eyes to injustice just to serve their cause's purpose, and excuse as though they don't see what is being presented to them just because they're taking the case or this particular one and making it a spokesperson or a representative of all, you know, that, like, fuck out of here. I've been in a domestic abuse, I've been in family abuse, and she does not represent me. Nor does any other person that has gone through this similar or same things represent me in my pain. Yes, we have similar, like, whatever, like, realities or experiences in terms of trauma and all this kind of stuff. But still, at the end of the day, individual we are, although we are one. And so the acts that have been proven that she has done should not be overlooked just because you're comparing it, which is not comparable to that of all. Like, fuck out of here. She's not a representation of all. She's a representation of herself, the same way that he is too. And to miss all the evidence that has been provided to show this about she, just because she wants to say, oh no, that's not a tree, that's a flower, and yet it's a tree, like, because everybody else is out to somehow like ruin her. Okay. But like, oh, I gotta turn on back my phone. Fuck. Hold on 1 second. Oh, shit. Let me do this. You know, I don't know what I was saying prior to hitting pause any kind of way, but you know, I get passionate in every kind of way, just talking about all of this. And so, you know, whatever. What the hell? Because this is like really like acting up and whatever. So, anyways, so what were we talking about? Right, like the media stuff and like the way they're presenting certain kind of things after the decision because of how they feel about a certain type of bigger thing, like domestic violence, it's bad. And then just now, like I just looked down and I had seen that, I don't know how accurate this is, but someone posting something saying CNN says Amber should have won, like, you know, or believes all women, even if they're lying, is kind of like the double-edged sword message that others are trying to say. Like, how can you say that after everything that has been displayed for you to see? Like, so it's like you're saying that the jury didn't think about her credibility when they chose to go in his favor. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so again, even though this is a very judgmental kind of energy and time, like the question says, right? From whom can I release my judgment of right now, right? It's not about like crucifying with judgment in this court case. Although, because this court case was public, a lot of those that argue about how that wasn't helpful to the jury because it influenced the jury and all this kind of stuff, and the media shouldn't be a part of it and all this kind of things. I think it should. And for so long, based on the history of us too, like think Coliseum days, everything was on full display, and the media and the masses were always spectators of this stage. And then they got taken away. And a lot of fucked up shit happened on the sneak or on the lie or on the you weren't there, so you don't know. And we know, but we're not telling you at this time. And to be able to conduct a live presentation showing all what is being presented. How do you argue with receipts, with facts? And so whatever the case may be, right? And you know, so the point of watching, yes, it's to determine what is the truth based on the accusations that both were throwing in each other's view, and getting to the bottom of the truth. So that's why there's a judge and jury too. A judgment must be made because there is a dispute, and so now we are going to take everything into consideration about what this dispute is about and see with clarity, based on factuality, what's really happening here. So for other medias to like spin it and twist it and say just because of their opinion about the message that they're holding on to and relating to this particular case, that's like bias in every kind of way. That's like me taking Amber's side without knowing anything of the story just because I'm a woman, just because I too have been abused before. Like, it's sad that I shouldn't have to question someone's story when shared, because especially about traumatic things and events like that, we would think moralistically that someone wouldn't play with those kind of things. But this is a 3D reality that we can't expect anything, because the moment you expect anything, prepare yourself to be disappointed. There's too many variables, right? So those that are like just completely ignoring the trial that took place is like an insult slap to the judge and the jury in their face, like saying they didn't do what they were supposed to do, and what they're siding with the media and the celebrity status of someone too. Like, who are you trying to play? What kind of sea of denial are you swimming with in any kind of way? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so anyways, and I just feel like, right, so but here we are, right? Like, I don't want to be part of the fight, the roar, the fight. That's the energy that I am here to transmute, to transform, to find new bridges of articulation for, in regards to the roar and the war that does go on out there. It's like, I get into the battlefield, and when I opinionate what I think or feel or think as real, and I like to come up with solutions instead of staying stuck on the pollution, others will argue with me about my stance of wanting to come to a solution about this pollution, and wants me to instead focus on the the insult, or the what's like, so like, it's like, instead of focusing on finding a solution for the pollution, they want to focus on the pollution and how it makes them feel about this injustice for real, right? Or like, whatever the case may be, instead of finding a solution to the problem. You can stay crying about it all you want, right? And what's that going to serve? What is that going to accomplish, and what is that going to do? Granted, you have to go through, and it's going to have many different emotional highs and lows with a lot of things, especially if the experience is challenging or traumatic or dramatic in some kind of way. Like, whatever it's going to be for anything, it's always there's a process to everything. It's a process to everything. And I just, like the story that I shared in regards to what happened on the train, that people just recorded and ignored still in every kind of way. Like, like, that shit is not okay. And then the argument that some will say to keep it as it is, or to blame it on the media, or look at the world we're in, they'd be like, oh, look at this society we're in, where people will film instead of help a person that needed fucking help. And that's a sad argument too to have. And so you get all these different people taking different stances of grievances, and holding on to these positions of grievances and notes that they're noting that others are doing and not doing, and it's not solving anything. Everybody just wants to be heard, and everybody just wants to be right, and everybody wants everybody to agree with them. And if they don't, they fight. And then those that start now with the fight and say, for so long I've suppressed, like, you don't have to fight war with war. And so that's why I like watching certain platforms that engage respectfully in every kind of way, no matter the differences of opinion or things that people have to say, because it's about unification in that kind of way. Like, we're not trying to be at war here. We're trying to understand one another here, even if how we perceive or receive is different. So these people can perceive differently about the case, but to go on a tangent and attack and further want to continue to defame something that they truly are in no position to even judge upon, it's rather ludicrous. It's like the people that are, and then like applying it. What was the quote? I want to see what the quote was, man. What's this woman's name? I don't even know. Mora Donegan. It will have a devastating effect on survivors who will be silenced now with the knowledge that they cannot speak about their violent experiences at men's hands without the threat of a ruinous libel suit. And that's a woman's speech, and it got blocked off wherever I cut off. But either way, you can hear the tone and the opinion of this person who must have been really hurt or something in her life that would crucify the outcome of one case and label it as a representation of like all. It's hysterical. It's hysterical. This is not that. This is one case that was unique in itself, that got proven in court to show that the person that made the original accusation and started this whole circus, right, has been caught lying and making up things that truly did not occur. And holding on to it, even with being caught, as thinking that she can talk her way out of it by being so convincing to everyone else, the way she was able to manipulate and convince others that follow her or like want to be liked by her, accepted by her, and all this kind of stuff, that you can't do that to the world. And so it being publicized allowed all others to see too for themselves the deceit and the intention behind what she really truly did. I can say that now because it has been tried in court and she wants to appeal it in some kind of way. And again, I'm not talking negative and I'm not throwing hate and I'm not throwing shade. I really hope that she wakes up and sees the reality of creation that she is doing that is so damaging, and may she get the help that she needs. That's my truest desire for this woman, if she truly is about this kind of stuff. That shit is tough. I could only imagine how she truly feels inside, and that's going to be something that she's going to hide because she has this fabrication sheath of a mask that she wears. That does anyone even know who she is? We can label, we can, destroy her reputation and shame this woman. But at the end of the day, why are you doing that? She needs help. If this is what you're saying that she is, clearly she needs some kind of help. How does you shaming her, kicking her when she's down, really the way? Like, really, From what can I release my judgment from right now? But the fact that she just keeps continuing anyway is because she hasn't learned her lesson yet. Like, you know, it's safe to just not involve yourself karmically with the judgment either, and just really like use your own faith and belief systems to lovingly do what is best for the whole at this time. So like that's just how I feel, and that's just my morals for real. And it doesn't mean that it's perfect at all, because you know there's a lot of factors that play into a lot of different kind of things. But anyways, I guess this is going to be another like babbling spree about all these kind of things, and I really hope the other video uploads, because I don't know, this is kind of like a continuation of that too. You know what I'm saying? But like in its own way. Right? It says judgment closes our heart to truth and separates us from love. It binds us to our fear and holds us in shame. On whom are you placing judgment right now? Is it someone in your life? Is it yourself? Release the shackles, drop the expectations, and be grateful for what is. Today's soul truth. Look at the person you are judging as if you are looking at a small child. See them learning and growing, falling down and making mistakes. See their desire to be loved and accepted. Add even more grace to open your heart to this truth. When I lift the judgment for myself and others, I uncover my own truth. I am loved, I am whole, I am limitless, and so are they. You know, and it's just like, you know, a matter of what you're going to choose to participate. Like, clearly you saw the errors of her ways and what she had to say, and justice got served in every kind of way. And there's going to be more of a circus and more media misrepresentations and opinions and people having stuff to say. But the stronger you get into your own authentication and liberation, the less inclined you will be to be so argumentative about what others have to say and stuff. All you can do is continue to speak your truth, and you know, let that be the expressionary artist that is you, to find another outlet tool which is healthier, wealthier, stealthier in every kind of way. And just, you know, I hear like beat them at their own game, which is kind of like what's going on with the whole media war with the main media outlets and the ones that were really reporting truths, while the main media outlets were distorting the masses' perception due to their trickery and their own delivery of many news things that they were responsible for giving to the masses, that were misinformation or opinions that are dominated by a societal ruling that overrules and determines for all. I don't know, but it is. But it is what it is. Right. So what else? What other soul truths can we bring to this? Up in here. What if it isn't true? What if none of it is true, right? The thing you're telling yourself right now, the concrete reasons why you think you don't belong, you can't do it, you won't get there, you're not enough, or it's not for you, or what if it wasn't true? Today's soul action. It's time for a soul chat. Close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and ask the wise one within you. What if it isn't true? What else might be possible? Journal your answer. What lie do I need to let go of to reach my soul's truth? You know what I'm saying? So that shit is true, like especially a person's position and how combative they want to be, right? It's going to trigger a lot of unhealed wounds for a lot of people. So whenever you find yourself being triggered by what's going on, use your consciousness, mindfulness, lifestyle, and guide that is the bridge to your alchemy at all of this time, for all of lifetime. in every span of direction, space, dimension, and time. You are the master alchemist of your own life and conscious see your way. And evolutionary and revolutionary, you are in every kind of way. And no matter what anybody is saying, even if it's the main media today, you are authentic and alchemized in your truth, and that is truth. And because of this too, you salute and honor that which comes through for you. Discernment be your way, because you learn, you earn, and you know this today. And so you're not going to be able to just be easily persuaded or knocked off your feet. And so your participation with the warlike sensations that want to be in domination are experiencing its own transit of transformation and revolution. And so accept no other substitutions, and don't be so caught up in the pollution, and be the solution. Be the change you want to see in this world. So as much as you can take a side and pick out and pick at everything and be like, oh, I don't like this, I like this, and this is that, and this, and fight for all time, you're contributing to that vortex of energy that is being transmuted at this time. To be conscious and in your alchemy. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's beautiful. But yeah, I just think it's ugly, you know, and many kind of things. Right? And this is something her whole team could ask themselves about everything. On whom am I placing blame right now? Because believe, all you hear is you, this, him, her. So like ineffectively about everything. And and what I was saying about this Elaine lawyer chick, I have compassion and empathy for she. But no longer am I extending my sympathy after hearing her speak on these shows, right? And I know that's part of her part in all of this. Like, she's representing this chick, so she has to keep on, and I get it. But the stance that she takes and the way that she goes is a reflection of she, no matter how she sews. And so even if the topic and the way that she guides is coming from someone else outside of her line, she's still going forward with it in her own light that she articulates and makes it bright for others to see. So she's still putting her stamp of uniqueness to all that she brings to the table. And it's disappointing to me. As a woman, although I am divine masculine and divine feminine energies, and you know, and I am a soul having a human experience at this time, in that kind of divine align, I just like, what, lady, are you even saying? So I don't even know. She's saying a lot. And it's rather insulting to, because she's categorizing and she's putting her person that she's representing and comparing her to other persons and that are grouped together. So it's like saying, are you white? Are you black? Right? All the colors, who's white, who's black. Like, are you kidding me? And black is not even a color. Is white even a color? But anyways, let's not even get started with that. But, you know, race and ethnicity and like all this kind of stuff. She's really like delusional. I don't know. Just stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't know. I really don't know. And I would love to know if she really feels this way, because she's gung-ho and strong about the side she's taking, and I guess that's what she's supposed to do as a lawyer too, to represent her own client. But the position she still tries to get away and manipulate and say and try to make it seem like a media frenzy and all Johnny Depp and all this kind of things. And it's a sadness to other survivors out there losing at this time, feeling like they can't speak up for themselves, because if they do, they might be shamed or ridiculed too. And using that leveling of truth, because that is a truth, right? If that were to be the case, but it's a false case. And then manipulating the media audience by saying there was loads of evidence that didn't get shown, and she wishes it could have gotten shown. Bitch, you don't got no evidence to show, because had you had any evidence to show, because she was showing every other kind of like, look at that stain on the floor, look at this, I took a picture of this and this, and I recorded this, and I did all of this. Makes no sense why you don't have no other kind of evidence. That's just fact. This woman AH was documenting everything to try to build something. She had a plan, and she was trying her best. Trust, if she would have gotten a black eye by Johnny Depp, she would have took a picture. She would have took a picture. She would have freaking ended up on the TV the same day. For real, for real. Because that was her intention, to get that. I just, like I said, like, no one case should be a representative of all cases, period. And anybody that is making it like that, it's just like hate crimes and all this kind of stuff. Like, they'll make one case and they'll make it all about all cases. That's like, I don't know. It's just a double-edged sword. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Whatever that may be. But let's go into some little soap opera tarot in regards to everything about this case. Major change, right? What about Amber and Johnny? Major change, number 5, journey, traveling at this time. The distant horizons, what's going to be, some kind of imprisonment, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, like, so like, this is that seed, right? There's still some kind of bond, there's still some kind of journey, there's still some kind of case still being here. This is not over. This is not over, because I don't know anything about like the law, so don't quote me on this, but like, I'm just going like generally with what I feel or receive and say. There's going to be a major change for these, because this came out reverse, but lovers, right? Flipped out in some kind of way. So there's a journey, right, happening here. And in the distant horizons, it's still like bondage in some kind of way, some kind of imprisonment, right? Right, so a holding. So there might be a holding of great fortune. So like, nobody's seeing money as of yet. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, so there might be a hold on this settlement's money, or there might be a, like, you know, right, a thief, right? Like I guess, you know, like with what a lot of it is being said too, that Johnny Depp doesn't care about the money, or whatever the case may be. The whole point and purpose was for him clearing his name and letting the truth, right? The truth shall prevail, right? And feeling vindicated and just wanting his reputation back and all this kind of stuff. So with that comes great fortune, but still it was a monetary settlement and stuff like that. So like, I feel like that's coming up here, and I just feel like there's like, that's where the it's not right, it's not right? From this courtship, right? Courtship. You can look at it as courtship, right? Family room. Special person, right? Child. This is a concern. Right, so like, yeah, so there's this despair card, right, with this main female in regards to her wealth, right? So major despair. I'm also hearing something too, like I said, like, so like even with this, like, she had a child, right, through a surrogate, I believe. Some kind of message, some kind of sudden wealth, some kind of whatever. Somebody, a male, could be in despair about their connection with this main female right here, right? In regards to something that is of concern, a child or something at this time. But like, I just feel like, while the media is, some of the media, I can't say all of the media, right, is misrepresenting or like siding with she. Is she gonna get married? What about marriage? Occupation. Concern. A gift. Great fortune. And then there was poverty. Bad health. This mature woman and wealthy man in the courthouse. And this expectation from another male or something. So that could be it too. Like, she's expecting something to come through in regards to her own money, like expecting a gift, expecting some kind of sudden wealth that's going to assist her out of this sad, you know, predicament and stuff like that. So I just feel like there's other things she is working on that may not be shown or seen in regards to certain kind of things, and she still has an air of superiority in terms of how she thinks. And like, some people can still be misled, and so she can get in a lot of people's beds, like minds, and so there's something she's waiting for and expecting at this time, even though this is all going down, you see. Like, yeah. And what about Johnny? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so you got a thief. Lover's a thief. Unexpected income. Of concern for this man on his work. Still, like, already said and well. Adjudication. House. Two more, and then I'm gonna look at this. Two more. Mature woman. That's it, right? So, I thought that was it. Right, so, you know, this situation that's going down in regards to this loveless exposure that got discovered, right? And I just feel like there's going to be a hold still on some of his assets or things. Like, there was a loss in this kind of thing, like, you know what I mean? And in a certain kind of, like, even though it has been decided, you know, and sudden wealth is to be expected, you get what I'm saying? Like, but this, I still feel like, even though there is like this justice, right, there's still major concern with like, there's a lot of inner wound child healing that that although he's receiving victory and praise and all this kind of stuff, there's still a lot of demons that he has to slay. You know what I mean? And it's really not about the money. He's grateful for a here, like, too, like, really grateful too. And he's still though imprisoned by the trauma of his own mind and just the experience in this life in this kind of thing. And that is of concern too. And so too, there's a message coming in for him in regards to something that might be conveyed by a man and a woman to him in some kind of way in regards to this unexpected income and sudden wealth. So new opportunities too in regards to the adjudication, right, to restore his occupation, right? But he still has this kind of energy, like that thieving, imprisonment kind of energy showing up even though it's passing. So that's tough, you know, especially if, you know, you tend to be generous and good, you know, it's like, you know, like some major healing, like, to like, and being welcomed back into the community is going to be another kind of restoration process, right? But still, like, so there might be even some resentment still for the community too that was so quick to pull a rug from underneath him. The same community that took away, right? It's like that cancel culture that they say, welcoming him back in some kind of way. But look, it's still community poverty thieves in some kind of way. This makes me feel sad. So something's coming in. May make him glad. Let's see. Right? Something, someone. Right? So some travel to high honor as well. So, you know, this is like the recalibration, the phoenix rising for him at this time. But there's still a lot of things, right, that he's in prison too, in the mind, in the body, in the spirit, in the soul, haunted in some kind of way, and, you know, breaking those chains of this pathway that he be on in that kind of way. He's a wealthy man, still thinking about, so like, it's sad, like, you know, like, because even though he's going through this thing, he's still, even though he's moved on and Now this is going to be a major healing stepping stone for him at this time. He's still thinking about it at night. It's like, you know, because there's still things he has to work out, you see. So he's not fully healed, so it's still like a thief. You know what I mean? Like, why? Right? Lovers in despair. So he's brokenhearted out there, even though he's being vindicated. And it doesn't mean that, oh my God, he's brokenhearted over she. She's brokenhearted because of everything. And he's healing that right now. But he's still chained to the trauma that this has created, even though he's being vindicated. You know what I mean? So that's understandable. And he's focused on his work, you know what I mean? And that's going to be what's going to help him to heal. And he can expect for real, you know, gifts of income for real. Good for you. You know what I'm saying? As you deserve in every kind of way. And I wish him healing. Oh, my ears ringing. In every kind of way, because he deserves to be happy. We all do. Especially that he works so much so on wanting others to be happy too. May he find love within him too, but may he find love that will nourish and cherish his generous heart and be a part of some evolutionary art that fulfills in healthy, wealthy, stealthy ways for all the rest of his days, right? And that's how we're going to activate. All right, so thank you so much. We are going to cut every motherfucking cord up in here that wants to attach you here and all this kind of stuff. Let's cut those cords too of that media frenzy that wants to be misrepresenting certain kind of things and attaching one case to all kind of things and, like, you know, just blasphemy and all those kind of degrees. We like cut the cords to those kind of things. Like, mátalo. That's it, right? So thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to see if the other video is going to upload, you know what I mean? I'm gonna try to figure out everything. But in the meantime, yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, tapping in, turning on. I will eventually write stuff into the description box below, and you can, you know, further connect with me on different platforms too. You see, I'm going to get back into the spirit of doing other things in terms of not just following, like, this we're talking about just, you know, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I'm going to do soap opera, no, soap opera. Oh, maybe I'm going to do soap opera tarot. Everybody likes a good soap opera tarot. Some erotica tarot as well, and some, oh, the secret code oracle. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely be a part of that. It's for free. You get to submit your questions to me and keep your anonymity. So that's why it's called Secret Code Oracles. And then you wait for your episode with my response using tarot and oracle and channeling to answer your question here on my YouTube channel. And to find out more information about that, you can read the description box. You can follow me on Instagram at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS, to learn more about how you can participate in that, because it's for free, okay? Or you can just email me at enchantressthebabbler@gmail.com. Make sure you put in the description box that this is for the secret code oracle inquiry, and so that way when I receive that, you will receive an email back from me when I send it back. If I don't respond within the next 48 hours of when you send that, then contact me again. But yeah, and then I would send you back an email reply with your own secret code oracle name that will be addressed and applied to your episode instead of, you know, your me saying your name. You get what I mean? Or revealing your identity in any kind of way. I respect privacy. I'm big on that. You know what I mean? Personally. So yeah, so that's cool, and that's what's up. You can also go to witchyutopian.com for all, you know, products and services and stuff like that too. Yeah, and I'm Enchantress the Babbler here on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor as well. Enchantingbabble.blogspot.com, that is me. Also the author of The Darker Night Light of My Soul, Volume 1, Love Bites, light code activations that hype you up and inspire and motivate you in every kind of way. It is a revolutionary, evolutionary divination tool. It's also like can be used as an oracle of inspiration light. You can turn to any random page that will activate and give to you a message that's just for you in alignment with you at the time that you do it too. So all that information will be in the master link shared in the description box here as well, because that master link is the master link of all links that link us on every single available platform that is available for you and I to further connect on. So yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, so I'm also new on Twitter again, which is what I was talking about before too. So Utopian Cupcakes, that's me. Okay, delicious and free. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what I mean? Right, and then also just to point out like the movement, misrepresentation and misinformation and just like dramatization of blasphemy nations, talking about like this movement, like because she lost the case and she's now making it about freedom of speech. We are all free to speak, but not if it's blasphemy and if not if it's defamatory to someone else that, quite frankly, don't deserve a lie to be thrown at them at this time because you want to ruin their life. I don't get it. That has nothing to do with freedom of speech. If you want to do freedom of speech on some fiction and whatever kind of thing, then be a writer. You know what I mean? And write your book, you see, and you can have all the kind of publicity about your book, you see, and creations. You know what I mean? Because clearly you are highly imaginative and creative. So like utilize that in healthy, wealthy, stealthy ways for yourself. She's gonna be writing a book. Her story. Okay. Anyways, what can I say? Thank you so much for tuning in. Do kindly show your support, especially if you tuned in, tapped in, turned on in every kind of way. Like, you know, yeah. Okay, thanks. Bye. Thank you.